According to the latest quantum consciousness studies, your DNA is not just a biological blueprint. It is a ledger of cosmic transactions spanning over 3 centuries. You think your heart is breaking because you lost them? No, your soul is screaming because it has encountered a system-dead error. Look at the person you just lost. In the realm of quantum karma, they weren't just a father, a child, or a lover. They were a high-value energy asset that you signed a contract with exactly 342 years ago, in a life you've been forced to forget. The Matrix has installed a memory wipe to ensure you remain an emotional slave, paying interest in the form of endless tears. The villain of your story isn't death. Death is a promotion. The real villain is the memory prison, a sophisticated neural cage that traps your frequency in a loop of what if and why me. Every time you weep, you are reinforcing the bars of their cage, pinning their transitioning soul to this dense, decaying earthly plane. You are not grieving. You are inadvertently holding them hostage in a debt loop they are trying to escape. My name is Peaceful Soul, and I am a researcher of empirical Buddhism. If you are here, it is because your internal alarm has finally bypassed the Matrix. You have 10 minutes. I don't want your belief. I want your absolute focus. I swear by the ancient laws of the Dharma, if you commit to these 10 minutes, we will initiate a Dharma deletion protocol. We will stop the interest on your karmic debt and unlock the gates of the bardo. The soul you lost is waiting for you to stop crying and start coding their release. The clock of the multiverse is ticking. Your initiation begins now. Without a second of delay, let's unlock the first seal and perform a brutal anatomy of your agony. Why does it hurt? You think it's love. Let's strip away the romantic lies. Science calls it a neurochemical withdrawal, but the Dharma calls it the ghost limb syndrome of the soul. You are currently a biological battery being drained by a parasitic loop. When that person left their body, a specific frequency vanished from your environment. Your ego, that internal tyrant, is now experiencing a massive power outage. It is screaming, not for the person, but for the energy supply they provided. You are caught in the urgent anatomy of attachment. Every memory you replay, the smell of their clothes, the sound of their laugh, is a desperate attempt by your ego to jumpstart a dead circuit. But here is the terrifying truth the Matrix hides. Your grief is a tracking beacon. In the bardo, the transitional state between lives, the soul is hypersensitive to the frequencies of those they left behind. Your heavy, low vibration, sorrow acts like a gravitational well. You are literally dragging them back into the mud of the earth plane. You are the anchor, preventing their ship from sailing into the infinite light of their next evolution. By holding on to your pain, you are committing the ultimate spiritual theft. You are stealing their liberation to feed your addiction to sadness. Stop. Look at the invisible chains wrapped around your heart. They are pulsating with a dark, rhythmic hunger. This is the quantum debt collecting its interest in real time. If you don't sever this connection within the next few minutes, you risk fusing your consciousness with their shadow, creating a karmic knot that will take another 7 lifetimes to untie. Do you want to heal, or do you want to remain a prisoner of a ghost? The scalpels are out. We are about to cut the cord. Let's stop scratching the surface and look into the abyss of the Alaya-vijnana, the cosmic storehouse of your data. You think you are mourning a person, but in reality, you are reacting to a quantum entanglement leak. Buddhism teaches that the self's a collection of 5 aggregates, but the 8th consciousness, the Alaya, is the hard drive that carries the karmic interest rate across lifetimes. When your loved one departed, they didn't leave existence. They merely shifted from a particle state physical body to a wave state energy frequency. Science confirms this through the observer effect. Your grief is an observation that forces their energy to remain in a low vibration, collapsed state. By weeping, you are literally freezing their soul in a distorted frequency, preventing them from recalibrating their data for the next rebirth. You aren't being loyal, you are being a frequency saboteur. The debt you feel is the vipaka, the ripening of a cause planted centuries ago. In the logic of emptiness sunyata, the person you loved was a temporary projection of a shared karmic debt. They appeared in your life not to stay, but to collect or repay an energetic balance. Once the transaction is complete, the matrix forces a disconnection. If you refuse to let go, you are attempting a system hack that creates a massive energetic backflow, causing the depression and physical sickness you feel right now. Consider the empirical case of Helen, a neuroscientist who lost her only son. For years, she searched for him in the material world until she applied the karmic audit protocol. Through deep state regression, Helen didn't find a heaven, she found a connection thread. She discovered that in 3 previous incarnations, once in feudal Japan and twice in ancient Egypt, she and her son had switched roles. In one life, she was the one who abandoned him. The unbearable loss she felt in this life was the exact mathematical inverse of the pain she had caused him in the 12th century. This isn't mythology, it is karmic calculus. The moment Helen mapped out this transaction, her grief transformed into a profound aha moment. She realized her son's early departure was the final payment that closed a 900-year-old account. The empirical proof lies in the sudden shift of her heart rate variability HRV and the cessation of her chronic cortisol spikes. She didn't find closure, she found liquidation. She stopped being a victim of fate and became a master of her own karmic ledger. By accepting the value transfer, she allowed her son's wave function to expand into the higher realms of the bardo, finally ending the cycle of mutual entrapment. Now, the scalpel is in your hands. To liquidate your quantum karma debt, you must perform the Dharma deletion protocol. This is a zero-cost, high-frequency intervention. Tonight, at the moment between wakefulness and sleep, the hypnagogic state, where the matrix firewall is weakest, you will breathe in a 4-4-8 rhythm. Inhale the void for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale all biological attachment for 8. As you breathe, do not visualize their face. Their face was just a temporary mask. Instead, visualize their frequency signature, a sphere of pure, liquid gold light. Command your subconscious with this specific mental code: I release the claim on this energy. The debt is paid. The contract is dissolved. You must feel the physical weight leaving your chest. If you feel a chill, that is the entanglement snapping. This is not a meditation, it is a data transfer. You are giving them the administrative rights to their own soul, allowing them to ascend from the bardo into the higher realms of the Alaya. Do this for 7 consecutive nights. 7 is the number of recalibration. By the 7th night, the ghost limb pain in your heart will be replaced by a profound, cool emptiness. This is the moment of the sacred vow. Look into the mirror of your own soul. You have been a prisoner of a shadow for too long. By the power of the ancient Dharma and the laws of quantum reality, I challenge you to make a covenant today. Swear that you will no longer use your tears to drown the dead. Swear that you will become a lighthouse of high-frequency joy, for that is the only signal they can follow to their own liberation. The person you lost is not gone, they have been upgraded. Your grief was the only thing keeping them from their glory. As you move forward, carry this truth: you are an infinite being playing a temporary game of loss. The Matrix wants you broken. The Dharma wants you awakened. Your 10-minute initiation is over, but your life as a karmic architect begins now. Go forth, dissolve the debt, and walk into the sun made of liquid gold. The gates are open. The silence you hear now isn't emptiness, it's the sound of a million souls finally being set free by your courage. Namaste.